All right, well, welcome everybody. I appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to listen to our summit. This is going to be an action-packed hour. Uh, AI for Work NanoSummit, and just a real quick bio on me. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. Been in executive forums for 16 of those years, and they radically changed my business and my life. And I have a passion for leadership development. During this part of my life, I've sold some companies and moved into consulting space. And right now, for the foreseeable future, I am committed to helping small businesses generate more growth with AI. We're primarily doing that through our AI forums that we're calling AI Enablement Afternoons. And we really are trying to bring business growth, leadership development, and AI together to help small business owners and executives do that. So this session is going to be an overview of our AI for Work trainings. And we have three flagship trainings that we are developing. And I say are developing, we've already developed in full the AI foundations, and it has already been revised twice because things are happening so fast with AI. And we're currently working on our AI for executives and AI for leaders. We'll go through each one of those here today. So the AI Foundations is getting your team to understand how to work more productively with AI. The AI for leaders is for managers and leaders to take teams of people that are using AI productively and manage them effectively. And then finally, our AI for executives, how to manage and lead a company that is AI powered. So why AI? I wanted to spend a real quick moment just going through some things. Microsoft and LinkedIn just released a survey, and it had some pretty fascinating results. 75% of global knowledge workers are using AI at work, and the majority of these users started just in the last 6 months. That is an incredible adoption rate right there. 91% of them say that AI helps them save time. 93% say it helps them focus on their most important work. 92% say it helps them be more creative, which I've seen to be true in my own work. And 91% say it helps them enjoy their work more. And I don't know that I've been this engaged in work in a very, very long time. It's been a lot of fun diving into all of this. Uh, Companies are hiring for AI. 66% of leaders say they wouldn't hire someone without AI skills. And 71% say they'd rather hire a less experienced candidate with AI skills than a more experienced candidate without them. And we get asked all the time, is AI going to take my job? And I tell them, well, no, but someone who knows AI is going to take your job. So this is proving out to be true in the knowledge worker space. These numbers are only going to go up. Basically, this time last year, that number was at zero, and they're already over 50%, less than 12 months. This is as bad as AI is ever going to be. It's only getting better from here. So now is the time to jump in. So people are getting real work done right now. They're doing it better, faster, and cheaper. And that's what we're going to show you a little bit about today. Uh, I'll show you an example right now of a marketing tool built by an agency owner member. So we have a group of about 90 consultants around the world that are contributing to a platform that we have developed with different tools, and we're using our expertise. And so there's a guy that used to own a marketing agency, and he put this tool together for us. Uh, you can get access to some of these tools for free at betterfastercheaper.ai. Um, and then we roll out a free tool each week in each one of these categories. But in our execution tools here, we've got an AI marketing agency here. And so I'm going to just click on this link here, it's going to bring up a ChatGPT window, and we are going to get started here. So it's going to introduce itself, and it wants us to provide it with a little bit of information. All right, for example, I sell AI training that helps business coaches launch $1 million per year AI consult. So I'm going to say, I sell uh, memberships into business forums that help entrepreneurs lead AI powered organizations. All right, so now it's going to help me with the psychological triggers. I'm ready to get started. So now it's telling me for my ideal customer what the dreams, past failures, fears, suspicions, and enemies are for this ideal customer. Now, this is probably 80–85% correct. For the purposes of this, we're just going to keep going through it, but you would actually want to take time to read through and say, yeah, this is not quite right. Maybe it's this, or refine it, or ask ChatGPT to phrase things a little bit differently or whatever. But for the purpose of this exercise, we are now going to take this information that we got from the marketing agency. We're going to hand it over to our story brand experts within that marketing agency. And now they're going to take our ideal customer profile, and they're going to build out a story brand wireframe. And if you're not familiar with a story brand, it is a marketing platform developed by Donald Miller that basically uses the power of story to pull people into a reason to buy your product or service. And it's done while positioning the customer as the hero and you as the guide. And most businesses kind of mix that up and try to present themselves as the hero that is going to rescue someone. And so this is intended to make the customer the hero, and you're the guide that's going to help them overcome obstacles to reach success. So once our story brand experts have done their job, we're now going to hand off our work to a team of copywriters. And so we're ready to do that. It's saying, how many emails would we like in our outbound sequence? Well, I'm not a marketing guy. I don't know. What would you recommend? So it thinks I should do 5 emails spread out over 3 weeks. And so I like that structure. Let's see what it gives us. So now it's developing the 5 emails that it told me it would do. I can put these into a sales funnel. So before we finalize these emails, I'm going to get some feedback from our creative director. So one of the things that we've learned is that AI will produce some really good work, but if you ask it to make its work better, it'll go dig deeper and actually make its own work better. So we're going to say yes. So it's going to give me the improvements suggestions, rewrite the emails. and allow me to see what the changes are. So as you can see here, it's really, you know, digging deep and trying to change those emails to be more productive. So are we ready for our final drafts? We can say sure, or we could go back and say, no, I'd really like it to move in this direction or whatever. So um, so here we go. And we've found that, I mean, it's producing things so fast. We have taken something from just a very simple prompt of I sell this to this person, and I have now sent it through an entire marketing agency. And a marketing agency would charge maybe ten to $20,000 right now for all of this work, and would maybe spend a couple of weeks on this. And we can do this whole thing in 5 minutes. So you can see the incredible savings. Uh, and here's, oh, it's going to summarize our costs for us. Um, So that is a very simple tool that we have developed within our organization. And for the first time, we are now able to prove ROI because of our trainings. You can clearly demonstrate 10, 100, and even 1000x improvements in team productivity because of these tools. So our AI Foundations preview. What we're going to do right now is just jump into what our black belt program looks like for anyone looking to use AI in business. And before we start, I just want to mention that this is really as much about psychology as it is technology. Uh, you really have to mentor others through the human to human AI powered human process. And one of my good friends down in Florida hired a homeschool mom that had been out of the workforce for 20 years and was scared of technology. And she actually beat my friend through the black belt training at their organization, and is an incredibly AI powered employee for his company now. Um, I was sitting on a call with a fractional CFO, and at the beginning of every month, she used to spend 20 hours over a weekend uh, trying to do financial reporting for end of month for some clients. And now she gets it done in 2 hours during the week and has all of that time for her family. And then I know an overworked manager who is trying to hire for high turnover positions and used to spend days deciding who to interview, and really now just gets to spend more time with their family because it's just a fraction of the time to process the resumes and find the people that are going to be more likely to stay. So uh, now we're going to jump into the preview of what our AI Foundation program looks like. The white belt, you're just getting comfortable with the base model tools, learning all of the different inputs and outputs that you can have using ChatGPT. Our yellow belt is using AI to become more productive in your particular role, not generically, but your particular role. The orange belt is really learning how to use AI as a cognitive super assistant, so that basically for $20 a month, every single person in your organization can have their own assistant that's doing work for them. The green belt is building AI tools to solve problems. It's almost always faster to build the tool than it is to do the work manually just once. So if you've got any kind of repeatable thing, you definitely need to build a tool that you're just going to utilize over and over and over. But we found that even something that you're just going to have to do once, it's still faster to build a tool and let AI do it than to try to do it all manually yourself. So we're going to help each person that goes through the green belt build their own role coach. So whatever role they're in, they build a role coach, and now they have someone always available to help them in their role. If they get promoted, move to a different role, they can just develop a new role coach for whatever new role they have. The blue belt is about building tools that create 100x improvements in actual work processes. So we look at workflow and learn how to improve those processes. Our purple belt explores the future of your role and how you can provide more value in the future with the help of AI. And then our brown belt is about how to build and work with AI agents, where they start to do the work of multiple people in a process, get 1,000x improvements at this level. We see it over and over. And then finally, our black belt is really about mentoring others through the human to AI powered human process. And so our session structures, each one of these belts is an hour-long training, and it is designed to be just a simple flow where we give each team member the ability to make progress through the belt system. And we measure doing versus knowing. You can't just come and listen. You actually have to do the work, do the homework, submit the homework. The homework has to be right. And if it is, then you get that belt. So our white belt, getting comfortable with the base model tools. We review the program, getting comfortable with the tools, and this is what it looks like. You make sure you have an account, you install it on your phone, and then we work through all of these different inputs and outputs. So that's the actual white belt training, is loading those things up and working on the different inputs. So we're going to start with input text, output text. That's what everybody uses with ChatGPT and Copilot and all these others. They're used to typing in a prompt and getting output out. And so some of the potential use cases for this: strategic decision support, crisis management advice, leadership coaching, performance analysis, regulatory compliance. The list goes on and on. And we can start with a simple prompt like, I'm trying to, whatever your goal is, and I'm struggling with whatever your obstacle is, list all the ways that you can help me. And so if you want to bring up your ChatGPT window right now, and I will be posting these prompts into the chat, and y'all can just work through this with me. So I'm going to start with, I'm trying to get people to sign up for my webinar. I'm struggling to driving traffic to the landing page. List all the ways that you can help me. So I'm going to paste this into the chat. Y'all can grab it and put it into your own window. Or you can just follow along with me. You can change the prompt to be more relevant to your business. But I'm going to bring up a new window here, and I'm just going to paste that into the prompt here. So now it is outputting text with all of the different ways that it might be able to help me. So the next thing is input text, output image. So we can do this with branding concepts, infographic creation, process visualization, marketing material development, concept illustration, and so forth. So we would do a prompt like this: I help blank do blank, and I'm writing a book called blank. Create a book cover for me. So I help consultants generate $1,000 an hour and $1 million a year by becoming an AI-powered consultant. I'm writing a book called The $1 Million Consultant. Create a book cover for me. I'm going to post that into your chat. I'm also going to go into my window here. Now, what we found with Dolly, the image creator for ChatGPT, the spelling is getting better, but I suspect that whatever image it gives me, there will be some misspellings on it. But it is getting better, and you can now edit it. The $1 Million AI Consultant, so you can see it misspelled, million and consultant and even my own name, but I can go in and edit those things to get that working. So that's how we do input text, output image. So now we're going to move to input text, output code. This is really, really impactful for programmers, but I will say this time next year, we're all going to be programmers. We're all going to be able to write code and do things that we need to do that we never dreamed we could do before. So you can build custom software tools, you can automate tasks, you can do business logic implementation, data extraction scripts, and API integration. So I want to create a website for this book. Can you create the code for it? So that's going to go into your chat. I'm going to pull up my window, paste it in here. It's going to give me the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for this website. Now, this is actual code. I could go and put this in on the back end, and actually, this would be a website. It'd be a very simple website, but I can go, all I told it was to create a website. I didn't give it any other information. So as you can see, it's generating all the code that I need. All right, so the next thing is input text, output file. So now I don't have to just copy and paste all of that stuff that I just created. I can actually have it download into a file for me. So I could use this for report generation, financial planning documents, custom templates, data exporting, and policy documentation. So can you turn that code into a downloadable file for me? That's going to go in your chat window here. It's going to go into my window. It's analyzing all that code. Now I could tell it to put it into a Word document, a TXT file, a PDF, a spreadsheet. You know, I can even do I've asked it to do fillable PDFs before, and it will generate a fillable PDF for like checklists and things like that. So sometimes it takes longer than others. Sometimes it just spits out your answer right away. Other times it has to think for a little while. Sometimes ChatGPT gets bogged down a little bit. This is one of the slower times where it's analyzing this, but we will come back to that. So now we're going to move to input voice, output text. And some reasons to do this: you could dictate emails or documents and have them transcribed. You can record verbal customer feedback, convert it into written format, speak business queries and have answers provided. You can verbally describe a complex problem and receive a step-by-step written solution. You can also dictate meeting notes and have them transcribed. And so some great opportunities there. So I'm going to go to my phone here, and I'm going to bring up the ChatGPT app on this, and I can actually see my prompts there, and so boost website traffic. You can see here it's the same thing. I've got the download of so it did create the file, download the $1 Million AI Consultant website. It's already showing up on my phone. And so now I can say, I can come over here and I can click on my little microphone. That's great. Give me 3 more things to consider doing for the launch of this book. And I hit enter. And now it's giving me um, my answer. So I come back over here and refresh my window. And there it is, live webinar, Q&A session, special guest, and so forth. So it's great to be able to speak into it and get text out. So you can also take an image and output text. This is one of the things that I really wasn't, I didn't think this would be all that useful, and it's incredibly useful. Actually, you can do visual data analysis, brand compliance checks to make sure that any marketing material you create follows your brand rules, and you can get product feedback, image-based surveys, competitor product analysis, and so forth. So explain this slide to me. So this is an agile AI canvas, and it's got a lot of steps, a lot of things, and so I'm gonna, oh, wrong one. Post this in the chat. And I am going to see if I can move this over. All right, that graphic should be in the chat. I'm going to come over here, explain this slide to me, and I am going to use the AI Agile document there. So it's going to go into some pretty good detail exploring what this process flow is about. It even shows the ROI of a 3000x improvement, and it pretty much nailed that slide there. So input web, output text. So you can do this for market research summaries, competitive analysis, trend monitoring, customer sentiment analysis, and regulatory updates. The list goes on. So we're just going to say right now to research the biggest news from AI this week. Now, your results are going to be different than mine. They may pull some of the same material, but it's going to go out and search the web, and it's going to find some interesting stuff, but it's not necessarily going to be the same for you as it is for me. This is great if you're wanting to do like a short blog or podcast for people that want to keep up with the latest AI trends and things like that. And then you can ask it to pull more things out. So it went out on its own, searched the web, came up with some key highlights for AI. And then the next thing is input a file and output text. So you can do this for document summarization, financial analysis, contract review, data interpretation, policy updates. I'm going to use it to summarize a book. So summarize this file for me. Go into your chat. And I'm going to upload The Art of War, which I have as a text file. free download at the Gutenberg project. So if you're familiar with that book, it is giving a great overview of what the book is. And what I love about this is once I have this, there might be a situation like the 9 situations here, different types of battlefield situations, importance of unity, strategies for dealing with various terrains. Um, I can come in and I can now say, how is this relevant to my work in the AI space? And I can start having a custom interaction with a time-honored book that is specific to my role. And so some cool stuff there. The next thing is input voice, output voice. And this is one of the newest things that you can do with ChatGPT, and I love it. Uh, you can practice presenting business pitches. You can have interactive voice discussions and brainstorming sessions with someone. And you can use voice commands to retrieve business intelligence. You can conduct mock negotiations, receive auditory summaries. Um, so whenever you're in the car, uh, you can basically have your own little on-demand university. You can just put your phone in its little case and you can start having conversations with ChatGPT. So let's pull up my phone again. Now on ChatGPT, there is some headphones here. And if you click on that, that's when you can start having a dynamic discussion with ChatGPT. So I hit the start button. Hey, give me the most important idea you think I should take away from this idea of using AI to attract people to my forums and why it would be relevant to me. So now it's thinking.
The most important idea you should take away from using AI to attract people to your forums is the personalization and optimization of user engagement. Personalization and optimization of user engagement. Why it's important. Enhanced user experience. AI can analyze user data to provide personalized content recommendations, which increases the relevance and value of the information users receive. This leads to a more engaging and satisfying user experience, increased engagement. By tailoring content and interactions based on individual user preferences and behaviors, AI can significantly boost user engagement. Personalized recommendations and interactions make users feel understood and valued, encouraging them to participate more actively. Optimize marketing efforts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
So there you go. Now, the great thing is that shows up in my chat history once once it refreshes. And so my voice to voice, I can go back and access and copy and paste and use as I've needed it. So that's voice to voice. Finally, input code, output text. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. It's just the ones that we focus on in the white belt training. Here you can actually do code review. I know a lot of developers that find bugs in their code because they put it up into ChatGPT, error diagnosis, code documentation, security audits, technical translation. And so analyze this code and give me suggestions. Now, what I'm going to do here put that in your chat, is uh, I'm going to pull the source code from my website. I've already done this and put it in a TXT file. So I went to ariseforums.com. I inspected my source code and saved it to a TXT file. It's very easy to do. You can just right click on the website, I believe, and say inspect. And then you just take your outer HTML and copy it into a text file and do that. I will put the source code for mine into the chat so that you don't have to go create that on your own. And then I'm going to say go. So this is going to give me a really good overview of my website. Now, I want to get a full detailed on-site SEO report based on that code. So it already did some of that for me when it reviewed the code. But now it's going to give me a full on-site SEO report. Now, this is something that you might have spent a couple $100 or $1,000 before with a marketing company trying to help you optimize your website and so forth. And we can do it now in just a matter of minutes. All right. So my question to you is, what productive use cases can you think of based on these recommendations? There's a lot of different things that you can probably do for your organization. And so finally, after we go through the white belt training, now it's time to do the white belt homework. And you actually you complete each one of these tasks just as I did here, and then you actually submit that information. Use a Google form. We're actually going to be able to do that within our platform here real soon, so that you can just stay within the platform that we have offered, and you can submit your white belt training and so forth. So then we have a time for Q&A. So that is the white belt training. I just went through it with y'all. I'm not going to go through the other belts as detailed because we don't have enough time, but I am going to give an overview of each one of the belts. So the next one is the yellow belt, and this is about using AI to become more productive in your specific role. And so we're going to look at your role responsibilities, and we're going to do that. We're going to take a screenshot, which I've already done, and I need to put this into. Here we go. You want to take that screenshot and put it in your chat. I'm going to have to. Took me a little longer than I wanted it to, but we're going to say, please list out the various ways that ChatGPT can help me. So everything we did in the white belt, it's now going to tell us the different ways that it's going to read this slide for me, basically. And then from there, we're gonna create our own role coach. So I am this person in this company, list out my 12 role responsibilities. So let's say that I'm the sales manager for a small manufacturing company. List out my 12 role responsibilities. So these are my 12 primary. Yeah, I could go through here and say, well, I don't really deal in customer service. Can you replace that with something else? And it would do that for you. Now, for each of the 10 input-output combinations, list as many creative ways I can use ChatGPT across the 12 role responsibilities. Give me 3 options for each input-output. So I'm going to put that in your chat. Come over. And now it's going to begin to create the things that I need as a sales manager at a small manufacturing company. I'm going to be able to pick one of these and really dive into it. And then so you could take one of those, just dive in and go deeper from there. We're not gonna work through the rest of it, but you get the idea. Once we choose which one we want, then we can build an SOP around that. And then from there, uh, we take we ask it for a monthly roadmap. Once we have a monthly roadmap, we can ask for a weekly plan. And then from the weekly plan, we can actually, we can tell it a 5-day week. It'll assume a 7-day week, but ask for a 5-day work week, and then a daily checklist to make sure you do each day to get your job done. So you can drill down into all kinds of aspects of your role, and this role coach will really help you define what you need to do to get your jobs done. So that is a detailed implementation checklist for day one, and then I can say, hey, download it into a fillable PDF form. Even better. So that's the yellow belt. Our orange belt. This is where we really work with individuals going through the training to develop AI as their cognitive super assistant. It's like having the world's top experts in your pocket. So I think you might remember the Apple's iPod, say hello to iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Well, now you got 1,000 experts in your pocket. And so what we're doing is we're taking people that know how to solve particular problems, and we're helping you develop an action plan to solve that problem using AI. So you can go out to books and they have everything you need. It just takes a really long time to read it and digest it and learn it and put it into practice. You can do the same thing with the internet. The internet's got some great information. It's got everything you need to solve your problem and work through everything. It just takes too long. And so we found that if you take a human desire, preferably one that's been around for a really long time, identify that desire and use modern technology to take steps out of it, you will be very successful. Uh, so we're no longer saying hello to 1,000 songs in your pocket, or 1,000 experts in your pocket. Really, it's really more about who do you want on your personal board of advisors. I love Patrick Lencioni and Jim Collins, and I want their advice as often as I can get it. Well, now I can have that, by building these tools. So now I can get actionable advice from all of the world's experts in my pocket anytime I need it. So you don't have to choose. So, the world's most successful people solve problems by refining that problem. They really try to understand what the problem is. That's what we teach you how to build these prompts and what we call protocols as you're designing what the problem actually is and asking questions to drill down into that. Um, and then we look for experts that already know how to solve these types of problems, and we build that into the protocol. So we come up with the different people, books, solutions, uh, that you would need to get the advice from. And then we put an action plan into place to actually help you solve the problem. So, we can build these custom GPTs to uh, really become a cognitive super assistant. So the green belt, uh, this is uh, this is a way to build AI tools. You started building those tools in the orange belt, and now we're going to show you how to build those in a way where you get the same kind of answers every single time. And I mentioned it before, if you're going to do something repeatable, you definitely need to build a custom GPT to do it. But even if you're only having to do it once, it's still faster. My partner and I, uh, and we work with mid-sized businesses, and we're helping build a business plan for a company that would have normally taken us 2 weeks to do, probably charge 15, $20,000 for all the work and things. And we can now get 85% down the road with this business plan completely written in 30 minutes. And then we can spend a day or two filling in the gaps and stuff. So we're seeing it happen in our own consulting business, and the output is far better than what we could have done on our own. So that's the power of the green belt. We're going to help you with the syntax so that it's easier to read when you're building these custom tools, and go back in and change and edit as needed. Um, how to build out an introduction to what the tool is supposed to do, and then the context around what the tool is designed to do. And again, when we go through the green belt, we give you all of these things and help you understand how to build out those tools, build the steps into place, uh, the sample output, the rules that you have to follow, and so forth. And then finally, how to troubleshoot those tools. So that is the green belt really, really quickly. Our blue belt is next, and this is where we start looking for 100x improvements in work processes. And we envision what might be if we could remove steps and do things more automated with AI. Say like with the agile canvas here, if you see the top line here, before, if you were the one doing everything and you had 9 steps and then a deliverable, and you're spending 100 hours to make this stuff happen, and your bill rate is 150 an hour, it's a $15,000 investment. If we have a team of AI powered humans, then we now delegate that to a human who automates the next several tasks with AI. It comes back up to them, and they make sure it's right before they send it on to you for review. And now you've spent about 15 minutes. Your person you've delegated it to has spent about 15 minutes, and they're a lot cheaper than you. And now this whole thing is costing $5 as opposed to 15,000, which is a 3,000x improvement. So we show people how to do that, how to document the ROI, and so forth. So again, we explore the different ways what can be passed off to AI. AI may only be able to do 2 or 3 steps, and then it's got to come back up to the human and then go back down for a couple of more steps. But we help you understand what that process flow looks like. And then we exploit the actual tools that are needed uh, to build out the savings. All right. So we love documenting ROI as well. So the purple belt. Very, very few people in the world are at the purple belt level. And if you're past the blue belt, you are cooking with gas in your organization and in your role. The purple belt is really about moving from 100x to 1000x to 10,000x improvements, because you're looking into the future and preparing for it with AI. So an appropriate question to ask is, what is the future of my role? Put that into your prompt and see what it tells you. How do I stay 1 or 2 steps ahead? So this is one of the oh crap moments that people have. They're like, oh my goodness, now I can actually be preparing for what is coming, and I can be 1 step ahead of everybody else that's in my role. So we want to help you see into the future so that you can help create it. The brown belt, that's how to work with AI agents. And uh, we are really, you've got one person that's now able to do the work of multiple people in a process as they implement these AI agents, which are really going to come to the forefront when ChatGPT 5 comes out. So again, what if you could really automate these steps? And even if they were not something that you would normally do, but you would send to 3 or 4 or 5 different people, and now you're just having one person manage AI to do all of those things. So I've already been through that slide. I'm not going to do it again. So finally, our black belt. And our black belt has been through a couple of revisions now because we're really starting to understand what it means to be a black belt. And ultimately, it goes back to that psychology as much as it does technology. How do we mentor others through the human to AI powered human process? And this is really, if you are able to use all of the knowledge that you have, lead others, and mentor them in their process of becoming an AI human, that's what we're calling a black belt in this. And so we help people move through the 5 stages of AI, which if you're going to transform from just a human to AI powered human, we're kind of patterning these out a little bit after the 5 stages of grief. But the first one is indifference, and I run into this all the time. Yeah, I understand ChatGPT's coming, whatever. I don't know how it's going to help my role. I don't really care. I don't have time. Those kind of things. When they get even a glimpse of the power of what it can do, they suddenly get really scared. Is AI going to take my job? Eh, you know, am I going to be irrelevant? All of the things. I don't know how to use this. Am I falling behind, and so forth. And then from there, once they start using it, they move into this embarrassment phase where they're like, yeah, I don't really know how to use these tools, and I, I'm I'm falling behind. There's just a lot of embarrassment that goes with that. And then finally, that stage is actually really quick. You can get through the embarrassment phase really quick because ChatGPT helps you get past it. And then you move into confidence. And once you're at confidence, you really start using it. I mean, I use it more than Google now. I don't have to put up with all the ads and go into crazy websites that don't really produce what they need to do. And I use ChatGPT for a lot. And I keep saying ChatGPT, that's what I use. So you can use Copilot, you can use a lot of these different tools. We've just found that ChatGPT, we think, has the best reasoning capabilities, easiest to use, easiest to develop tools with, and so forth. And once you get really familiar with all of these tools, you get into a transformation where you are a different worker because of the transformation that's taken place with AI. So, you want as a black belt to encourage others to do the same. So we want to help create that AI powered growth here. And just like the homeschool mom that is now back in the workforce, every week I talk to my friend Greg. He's like, yeah, she just created a GPT to do this. She did that. She's, documenting thousands of dollars of savings for the company and stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Um, the fractional CFO is just so thankful to have her one weekend a month back to spend with her family. And the manager is now looking at new ways to come up with interview questions and just process a lot more HR information as they hire people within their roles, and it's just really excited. So after after someone goes through the AI foundations and you start getting your team powered with that, after that, you really want to empower your leaders and help them manage a team that's using AI productively. You really need an AI policy in place. You really need to have a leader that's helping them understand how to use these things, and so that's what this training is designed to do. And then finally, AI for executives. How do you manage and lead an entire company that's AI powered? And so we're going to have a black belt available, I think, next month for executives. We're working on it pretty feverishly right now. And so what's next? Well, um, I can do this same presentation to your company. We normally charge $1,000 for this type of thing. I'm willing to do it for free. Just send me an email and say, hey, I'd like this workshop done for my company, and I'll be happy to do that. Also, I have started a monthly forum that I call Arise Forums AI Enablement, and we spend 2 hours together on the third Tuesday of each month, and we dive into how to develop people, how to improve your strategic objectives, and how to actually execute in your business with AI. And so we call that relational insight, tactical insight, and strategic insight, and we use AI to help with all three of those things so that you're properly valuing people, tasks, and ideas appropriately. Um, and for $99 a month, and we do give a money back guarantee if you're not happy. But for $99 a month, you get access to those forums. You also get the paid version of the skills lab that we have, which comes with the expert advisors, role coaches, power skill coaches, and the book tools. So a tremendous amount of content there for you to, and also all of the free book summaries and prompt libraries and so forth come with the paid version of our skills lab. In addition to those two things, we also give you a free membership into Right Now Media at Work, which has thousands of videos from leaders like Patrick Lencioni and John Maxwell and Jim Collins and so forth. So tremendous leadership development material, business material, and so forth. And we give that to you for free as well. You can sign up for that at simpleservices.ai. Well, actually, I'll send you that link after I upload this video so that you'll have that. And but you can sign up for our forums. And like I said, there's a money back guarantee. Our next one will be June 18th at 1 p.m. So yeah, so anyway, that is the conclusion of this presentation.